Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a new short movie. The name of this short movie is What If Naruto Spanked the Olympians? And yeah, guys, it is an unscripted movie as well. Now, before continuing this, shout out to my boy Harshil Agarwal for suggesting me this idea. I know it has been a long time, since you have been writing down this idea. I apologize to you, my guy, first, and I hope you enjoyed today's story. Now, aside from that, if you haven't, then please do make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my both channels. This channel as well as my vlogging channel, it will be in the description below. So yeah, check it out. If you like the content, then please subscribe. Aside from that, yeah, let's begin with our today's story. Roll the intro. Our story begins right after the defeat of Kaguya Otsutsuki, as we see the Team 7 celebrating their victory, but then they stopped when Sakura Haruno, their teammate, told them that they still had to get back to their own plane, and they were God knows in which dimension, as that is when Naruto and the others begin to panic, until the Sage of the Six Paths arrived. Now, after his arrival, he made them reassured that he will be the one to bring them back. But now the question arose, what will happen to the Bijus? So, one of the Bijus suggested that all of them should go inside Naruto's seal because it was more than capable enough of holding more than one Bijus inside a single human being. As Hagoromo also agreed with this, as all of the Bijus were sealed inside of Naruto now. As now, they all appeared back into the plane of the Shinobi world in elemental nations, as they saw that everyone was trapped still inside the Genjutsu, and they still had to break them out using the hand seal, as Sasuke and Naruto were able to do so instantly and freed everyone. But Sasuke still remained quiet because he was low on chakra, and he did not have Bijus, so he couldn't attack anyone. So all he could do now was wait and buy time before continuing on with his plan. As the rest of the shinobis and nations arrived there, as they cheered their names first, as everyone then became silent when the Kages arrived. We are very happy that you did what you did for us, Naruto. You as well, Kakashi and Sakura Haruno. But I would like to ask a question. Said A, what happened to the Bijus? Oh, they're sealed inside Naruto. Old Gramps Sage sealed them inside of me. Can you return them? As the sage arrived, no, he cannot. Before Naruto could answer, he said these words to everyone. I'm sorry, but what do you mean, Sage-sama? Naruto said, as Sakura also said these words, and everyone now was alerted because they were in the presence of their great ancestor from which the chakra was originated. My children has been abused by these people for way too much long. I know, Naruto, that you are the different human that treat them differently, as you as well, A from Kumo. But as for the rest of the elemental nation, they have done nothing more than abuse them and use them for their own gain. But no more. I am taking them away, and Naruto as well from this plane. But you cannot do that. There will be imbalance in power, and Konoha will be the strongest nation after this. And it will be just like dictatorship in all over the elemental nation after that. He's too much of a danger then. As some of the shinobis begin to say these words to Naruto as well. I see. So even after all of these events, and even if you achieve peace, Madara was right, there was no true peace in the end. As the Kages who were revived, who were also standing there, were quite shocked at the people. Naruto said Hiruzen Sarutobi, as he arrived in front of him. Enough. The sage has said his words. Oniki, you need to stand down. And we, as the older generation, should respect his words because we knew about his existence. As Oniki then gritted his teeth. But still, Hiruzen, are you going to not admit that Konoha will be the most strongest elemental nation after this, and there will be a huge imbalance in power? That kid is a walking now death trap for all of us. What will happen if he suddenly loses his mind in that power and try to overtake every one of the nations, including Konoha? What do you think, Tsunade? As Tobirama and Hashirama arrived there. Tsunade, I think that they're right. What happens when all the Biju corrupt Naruto? Bachan? But you know me, It is still a fact, Naruto. You have to give up the power. This is for the peace that you wanted, right? My son will do no such thing, Tsunade. You at one time had my respect as well as my wife's, but after your words, I don't think I can respect you any longer. How dare you say those words, Tsunade? You're a part of a Senju clan, and this is how you treat Uzumakis? You yourself is an half Uzumaki, or have you forgotten who your grandmother is? Said Hashirama with rage, as Tobirama then said, disappointment. All of you are. The next generation is a disappointment. Nothing else but that. As for you, young man, the sage has said his words, and we will respect those words, even if these new generation ones don't. And we stand with the sage. As they got into a stance, as Naruto then said, wait, you don't have to. I'm sorry, Naruto, but this is for the best. You rather go and leave this plane with the sage for the peace sake that we achieved. As Naruto's friends were quite shocked by this turn of event as well, because Tsunade was being against Naruto for some reason. Why are you so against him, Shisho? Said Sakura Haruno, as everyone else was quiet after that. As Tsunade then said, it is for the sake of peace, Sakura, that we are able to achieve. And Naruto now having more power, and many Bijus inside, it is not good. Having many voices in one head, it can corrupt. And let's just not forget that Shikaku has craving for blood. Isn't that right, Gaara? No, he doesn't have craving for blood. Shikaku at one time was enraged and corrupted by his own hatred, but not any longer. Silence then. Gaara, are you on? I'm sorry, Naruto, but I have to protect my village. I am deeply sorry, but I just can't stand with you at the time. I'm sorry, my friend. As Naruto then looked down. So all for this was for naught. See, Naruto, these people like to see a hero fall, then to see him thrive, said Sasuke Uchiha. As unknown to them, a voice then talked through Naruto. It was all of the Bijus, as Naruto's eyes were different. They were complete white. Enough. We have heard enough. We are no one's property, and we will certainly not go back. As our father has said, we will follow his words. As Hagoromo nodded. As Kurama's voice then boomed, Father, it seems that humans, no matter what, will remain corrupted. My intuition was correct. So, let me do what I told you at the time I will do. What are you going to do, Kurama? Silence, Naruto. Stay out of this. This is something that has to be done. But I'm glad I was taught by my father at the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to meet you. As Kurama and every Biju clapped their hands together into a seal. Formation seal. Absorption. As everyone just stood there. As huge amount of enormous chakra was extracted from them and from the earth and was now absorbed inside Naruto. As Naruto just stood there shocked to see that all of his comrades, everyone was now dead. What did he do? What did he do? Naruto said, looking at even Sasuke, who was dead, and Sakura and his friends. Kurama, please tell me, what did he do? I'm sorry, kid. Nobody deserved this chakra, not even us, because we too are corrupted by hatred. But you, Naruto, you stood against your own, and was able to sway your own hatred, your other half, to your side, alongside me. So this is my final gift to you, old friend. You are now no longer a human. You are no longer a Biju. You are something above and beyond. As after that, Naruto saw that the whole world began to crumble as he stood in space, as if nothing happened. As the three goddesses appeared, and they too were absorbed inside the seal because of the faultation of the seal, as the Bijus too, alongside them, disappeared after Naruto absorbed their powers. What have I become? What's the point of all of this now? Naruto said, as he began to float in void. He did not know after that how much time has passed. Years, maybe. He just floated, aimlessly. He wouldn't get hungry, thirsty. Anything wouldn't happen. He was just dull. All this power, and for what? as Naruto then realized if he had to do something. He had to start the civilization again. Those people did not have to die like this for someone's greed's sake. As Naruto then sighed and made a hand seal and focused hard enough to create some primordials. As a few primordials were created, as Naruto then said, "Create a new civilization. I will be going to rest. As you wish, my lords." As these primordials then went on to create worlds, and from primordials the Titans were born. And during those regime in which humans were ruled over by Titans, some of the gods were born as well, from the union between two Titans, Kronos as well as Rhea. And Naruto was stir awaked because of the grievance of a woman in her dreams, as Naruto woke up, finally from his slumber after many millennia, as the primordials were shocked that their creator has woken up. They knew about his experience because they were a part of him, and yet they were scared of what he might do when he found out what was going to happen. Since the primordials were overthrown by Titans, they just remained aside. As the Titans watched, a being appeared in front of Kronos as Rhea offered a child to him, her son, as she was crying again. It was Zeus. As Naruto grabbed the child. "What are you doing? Who are you to tell me what I need to do and what I need not to do? I am Kronos, the king of this world, and the Titan king." As Naruto, with a single flick of his finger, threw him mountains ahead back. As Rhea was quite shocked that was this man? Is this how you dared to talk to your creator? As the power, the voice, it was demanding and booming. And that is when Kronos, the all-seeing Titan, realized who this was. But that is impossible. You are supposed to be asleep. Or are you awake, grandfather? How? Because of the sorrows of my granddaughter. As Rhea looked up at the being in front of her. The creator, you're the... As Naruto smiled, "Just call me Naruto, Rhea. I have seen in my dreams what this man has done. No, this monster." As Naruto then made a Rasengan, but it was complete void. Null void Rasengan. As the void Rasengan hit Kronos at blank point and literally destroyed him inside out, and freed from his corpse his other children, Hades, Poseidon, Hestia, Hera, as well as many others, who were still young, as Naruto just stood there, as Rhea dashed and arrived there. "My babies. Mother? Is that you?" "Yes." "Oh, by the heaven, you're okay." As she was happy to meet all of her children, as Naruto stood there. As he remembered the memories of his past that should be buried deep down, the memories of loneliness, as he looked at his children. He too was, well, hated for something that he had at the time by the people. As he then looked at Rhea. "Would you mind if I become their father figure and raise them? Since I have been alone, it will be a good chance for me to reunite with some of my creation." I see. Please, do as you please." As Naruto smiled, a warm smile. As after that, it was revealed to them that it was their grandfather that freed them from their father. It was even their father's grandfather, at least, but Naruto told them it made him sound too old, just call him father. As after that, Naruto trained them, alongside Zeus as well. Zeus was quite mischievous like him when he was little, quite innocent. As all of them trained under him, and the time passed. Some of the primordials were also quite itching to meet him now that he was back. One being Gyaya herself, as she arrived like a little girl in front of him. "Hello, father." "Ah, Gyaya, my daughter. What is it that you want?" As she began to cry, "My children, my son, Kronos, why did you?" "It must be done. He had turned himself into a monster. I tried to warn him, but he didn't listen. I won't question your word, father. I know that my son has committed crimes, but the punishment was too dire. As Naruto brought her into a hug. I'm sorry, little one, that your father has punished your son that hard, but it was needed to be done. Otherwise, he would have caused more chaos and havoc. I understand. As after that, Reha watched as Gyaya, the primordial goddess, fell asleep in Naruto's arms and looked quite peaceful as Naruto dried tears from her side, as he smiled. As he looked at her. What is it? Nothing. Nothing at all, grandfather. You can tell. I won't mind. It's just that I thought that she hated my children and would do anything to, well, make sure the Titans are always at top because she adored them. And I thought at one point that she doesn't care about anyone else but Kronos. But how did you make her convinced that? I wasn't. Well, the thing is that I have a way with words, as people in the past have told me before the creation. But yes, I guess I still do have that charm. That my people used to tell me. My friends used to. You had friends? Yeah, that is something I'd rather not talk about. I apologize. It's nothing again. As after that, many millennia passed as the gods grew up, and Naruto trained them under their domain and everything else. But the feud between the Titans, primordials, as well as the gods for his attention was getting way too much, because even for the littlest of things, they would come to him. And Naruto wanted a little bit of peace for himself for a change, which seemed to be impossible for the past millennia or so, as he saw it enough. You all come here, running towards me, even for the littlest of little thing. Why? As Hera then said, But grandfather, isn't it why you said that you can come to me for anything, but not for these little things, Hera? You are wise, you are gods, you are created by me to lead people. And if you come for littlest of decision to me, then how will you be able to figure out on your own? As after that, Hades then said, Told you. Shut up, Hades. Enough, Zeus. Oh, come on, Gigi. As Naruto then sighed. Listen up, young man. I'm gonna spank you if you don't listen. As Zeus pouted, because he remembered the embarrassment, he had to face when he was a child. Because his grandfather will literally spank him if he was out of line or so on, and any other of his siblings, which was quite an embarrassment show for the others to watch, as well as quite amusing as well. As after that, he then decided to make a test for them. Enough, I have decided now. I will erase your memories of me. But why, grandfather? More like lock them up. To see, in some millennia, how will you go on your own for the time being. I trust in all of you. Do not break my trust and do not make me feel disappointed. As they all flinched when they heard the harshness in his tone. As after that, everyone's memories of him was removed, as Naruto was then taken by Nyx, his other daughter. Father, I'm so happy that you're in my humble abode. I know that you rarely interact with humans and titans and gods. That is why I chose you, Nyx. So please keep my identity hidden, because I will now go into a slumber. As you wish, Father. I will protect you with my life. No, my daughter, you don't need to do anything. Just carry on, okay? I see. As Naruto patted her head as she blushed and smiled, as Naruto was now again in a slumber. As he woke up after many millennia once more, as Nyx was quite happy as she arrived there and jumped in Naruto's arms. Oh, calm down, Nyx. How many time has passed? Many millennia, Father. And you'll be surprised that many things that humans have invented, they're just so intriguing. I see. Due to your excitement, now I am excited as well. I would like to go down and visit and see for myself. Really? Are you going to leave? Just like that? As Naruto then said, would you like to go with me? As Nyx smiled, as both of them arrived then to the earth. As hiding their power, they were walking around amongst the humans and were enjoying the new stuff that was built. Naruto was surprised that such huge buildings were now well built, as well as the civilization has moved this far, even far more beyond advanced than his own, from which he belonged to. As he remembered and still felt sad for what has happened, because of some people's greed. Many of his friends were cursed to the same fate as them. He still regretted that action, but he had no control over it. Even in his sleep, sometimes their soul visited him and told him that it wasn't his fault. Naruto in his mindscape, which was now a vast place, has created an elemental nation in which they all lived their happy lives. Especially Hinata, Sasuke, Sakura, as well as all of his other friends, who were peaceful. Even Tsunade, who at one time was against him, because, well, she was his Bachan, and Naruto could see the hesitation behind her fake it, because she too wanted peace. Peace that Naruto and everyone fought for, and she didn't want it to say those words, and even if saying those words, she was hurt beyond words. And Naruto could see that, because he too had put a lot of masks over his face over quite a long time. So that is why Naruto made sure that everyone was at peace in his own mindscape, where he absorbed everyone's soul. As after that, we see that Naruto was brought out of his thoughts. Father? Father, that right there is the place where usually the goddesses hang. What do you mean? Your grandchildren has great-grandchildren. And yeah, they usually come there to that sweet shop. Would you like to have some sweets with me? I'll be delighted, my daughter. As Naruto and Nyx arrived there, as both of them were seated in a booth, as behind them they could hear talking, as Naruto and Nyx were waiting for their order. Zeus has been giving me a lot of headaches. Tell me something that I don't know, Athena. Athena? Who is she? Naruto asked telepathically to Nyx, as her eyes widened at first, but then she replied through her mind, thinking that it was one of her father's powers. She is, well, daughter of Metis as well as Zeus, and Nyx slowly began to reveal what has happened with the gods throughout the year, as he heard proof from the daughters, great-granddaughters of his from behind, as Naruto was enraged at what was going on up there, and how Zeus turned into a problem child that he feared he would turn into. But much more than that, he turned into a tyrant. That idiot. I guess I have to correct some things and spank them again. As Naruto then turned around and stopped time, as the goddesses were shocked, as now the full power was revealed, as they were quite scared, as Athena and Artemis froze when Naruto appeared in front of them. It seems that some of the children needed to be disciplined. You two are coming with me to Mount Olympus, as all of them disappeared alongside with Nyx, as the gods were quite shocked what was happening downstairs in the Earth realm, as everything was frozen, as they were cursing each other out until, at the council, Naruto arrived. As they all paused. Who are you? Zeus asked, quite dramatically, as Naruto rolled his eyes. Still the drama queen as ever, huh, Zeus? It seems that you all have been up to no good, while the grandfather was a grandfather. I have no such thing. As Zeus threw his bolt, be smitten by my lightning, as Naruto grabbed that and began to use it like a toothpick, before flicking it away as it was destroyed, like that, as everyone was now quite scared. Who was this being who used Zeus's the most strongest god's weapon like that, as Naruto then arrived in front of him. And with a snap of his fingers, everyone now remembered who he was, as Nyx giggled. Grandfather? You're back, as Naruto grabbed him and sat on his throne. And in front of everyone, even in his own great-granddaughters, he began to spank Zeus. Ow, that hurts, grandfather! Don't do that! Why are you spanking me in my own throne room? As after 10 minutes of spanking, we see that Poseidon, as well as Hades, as well as many other gods who were now quite problem child, were rubbing their butts, as Hera was, well, also pouting alongside other goddesses, because Naruto has punished them as well with both of their hands above their heads for more than enough time to make them feel sore there. It seems that it is enough for you. All of you. Now, How did things turn from that to this? Talk about, well, salvation, huh, Zeus? Poseidon said, "Shut up, Poseidon. I did not knew that great-grandfather will come back like this." As now, Athena, as well as Artemis, as well as Hermes and Aphrodite, and the other ones who were the younger generation of the gods were quite surprised by this. As Narada then revealed who he was, and they were quite shocked as he began to hear what Zeus has implemented, and was quite shocked by him and somewhat disgusted. And Zeus was downright heartbroken by that expression, from the only man he didn't want it to see that expression as, who raised him like a father. Zeus, is this any way that I taught you? But they were... Listen, son. I told you again and again, change requires good people, and you have to at one point pass on the torch. You were turning out like your father, if you see it like this. As he flinched, I would never be that man, and yet you were becoming him. I told you. Always consult with your siblings. They're here for you, to help you lead. I trusted you, Zeus, and you have broken my trust. I'm sorry, grandfather. I will give up my throne if that is what you want. No, that is not something I want. You will correct your mistakes, Zeus. I am giving you another chance, since you are all children in my eyes, the ones I raised still. But this is the only chance that I'm giving. I'm not that forgiving, you all know, right? Yes, we know. Where is Hades, by the way? As Zeus flinched again, as Hades was then there. Oh, grandfather, it is so nice to meet you. As Hades was then spanked again. Why did you not inform Nyx? Because I told you where I was, right? I remember, but I was told by Nyx that you were to be laid to rest and not to be disturbed. Hades was quite scared, and everyone looked at him with narrowed eyes. He knew, and yet he didn't reveal anything as Gaia, and one by one, each and every primordial and titan arrived there, except for Cronus, who was obviously dead. Father, Grandpa, you're back. As Naruto sighed, oh boy. Enough. From now on, Mount Olympus is open to all, and Zeus is your king, so you would have to listen to him. But doesn't mean, Zeus, that you have the right to do whatever you want any longer. You will fulfill your duty as the rightful king once more. And I hear that you have been mistreating Hera. Oh, my sweet little angel. I know what you have been through. Zeus, I curse you with the cock block of 100 years. No, please don't! It has been done. This is your punishment. You still think you're the best prankster, huh? I will get you one day, grandfather. I promise I will. Well, talk about the score. What is it, Poseidon? 1000 equals 0 for Zeus. See, Zeus? You still lose in the end. As Zeus was crying, as everyone was quite shocked by this, as Artemis and Athena, who had the first encounter, were still quiet, as Naruto patted their heads. Why are you so, well, fixated on looking at me, my little angels? As Artemis wanted to, usually throw away the hand of any man that was coming towards her, but this time around she was quite at peace and felt quite pure, and didn't feel disgusted for once. It's alright. I just woke up from my, sleep, and I gave them a test and they failed. As Hestia then said, Zeus failed more like Grandpa. Well, Hestia, still, you as a rightful Olympian had the right to interfere as well. Wait. If you didn't, then does that mean that he threatened you? I wouldn't go that far. He didn't threaten any one of us, but he was quite, please, sister, I beg of you, don't. Zeus was saying this, but in the end, it was revealed. You what? So I have many of the great-grandchildrens that are demigods, yes. And they are in the camp of blood? Yes, since your information is released, their trainer must be aware, and so would be the camp, Jupiter. Oh, so I have to visit them as well. And I am lifting this ban that Zeus placed, that you are now allowed to raise your children as well as visit them. And here are no more killing Zeus' kids as well. They are still childs of mine nonetheless. And you as the motherhood goddess as well as that of children should know I'm sorry. And for that you also have been granted a punishment. You are freed from Zeus and are to be divorced, and so are you, Hephaestus and Aphrodite, and Ares. I heard that you caused a lot of chaos in war. Yeah, old Grams, it was fun. War brings nothing more than hatred, kid. You should stop. Who's gonna stop me? As for the first time, everyone was alert and serious. You old man? Let's face it, they all are beneath me, and I can do whatever I want. I don't get it why everyone is scared of you. I don't sense an ounce of power from you, regardless of my power or not. The thing is that why they treat me like this is because I treated them with love and have raised them with my own hands. And these are my children, and so are you. I'm no one's children. I'm not certainly yours. You arrive here out of nowhere, demanding that we bow down to you. I never said those words. Same thing, you said. But I will never bow down to no one, and you will pay for this. As you had enough. Enough. Enough of this, Ares. Stop this insolence at once. Apologize to grandfather. I will not, old man. I said apologize, he said as lightning thundered and boomed everywhere. Zeus was enraged, as Hera was angry as well as he looked at her with smirk. Usually Hera would come to her defense, and sometimes Zeus, as Hera then said, apologize. What? You're siding with him? I would rather die than do so. Then so be it, said Hera. But to her surprise, it was Hestia who killed Ares. You will not say these words to grandfather. You hear me? As everyone was quite shocked, the most innocent as well as calm goddesses, Hestia would do this. As Naruto was quite shocked as well. Hestia, why did you? He was disrespecting you. I would take anything that has been thrown towards my brother and everyone else. Everyone will, at some point, until their burning point or boiling point. But no one will listen, even from the younger ones, about you and disrespect you. There are consequences to that. As everyone nodded, as Naruto then realized the people that he created have loved him all these years, and he was happy to know that there were some who were still, well, enjoying his company, as he was happy. I see. Now let us go and meet the demigods. As all of them arrived there and met with the demigods, and they were quite surprised, as Chiron was bowing and shaking in the presence of such being. My lord, it's all right. You can rise, Centaur. So these are the demigods that I hear about. Who is this? As Ares' children knew that their father had died, because Chiron was telling them of his foolishness. We apologize for our father's deed. As Naruto then said, no child should be punished for his father, and no father should be punished for his child's deed. That is what I say and teach. You are all like my children, as everyone else is. As they all smiled and were happy. As one by one, Naruto met with all of them until he arrived at a tree, at which Zeus was standing. Who is here? I feel a presence within Zeus. My daughter Thalia. She was dying and I turned her into a tree. Hera, I'm sorry, grandfather. As Naruto freed her from the tree and she was alive again. Thank you, father, Zeus said as Naruto smiled. Anything. As now the demigods realized who this was. This was the creator, as Annabeth Jace arrived. You young one look a lot like Athena. As then hunters arrived there. So, this is the creator? Said Phoebe. As Zoe then said, shh, he will hear. I do actually, heard what you said. As all of them gasped. As Artemis looked at them with narrowed eyes. As they were now shrinking under her eyes. Enough, Artemis. Don't scare them. You see, as long as you all love each other and coexist peacefully, I do not care of what you do and happens, okay? But never cross a line and never harm any innocent being. Hades, those parents that you have taken, please bring them back. And there's no need to worry, Sadix. Please take every oath back, okay? As a thunder boomed and his daughter Sadix brought every oath that was given to her in her name was brought back, as it was like a more reset to each and everything that has been done. And now that everyone knew that there was a being above them that would literally spank the Olympians on their asses if they crossed the lines, to correct them, they were now in line and would do anything to make him proud. And as for Naruto, he was happy indeed in this world, all thanks to his friends. And he has created a plane for them in which they would be happy as well, as the whole universe was recreated, all thanks to Naruto, as he then realized the concept of a creator, as he was pleased that his friends chosen him with this job. And in the end, he made it worthwhile, didn't he? As this is where I'm going to be leaving this story off, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. I know I make this hurriedly, but I have to upload this video in 2 hours, so yeah, I have to edit it out first and then upload. So you already know that I have to do a lot of work. So yeah, this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off. Peace.